Welcome to REMelations. We're your hosts.
I'm Mindy.
And I'm Brooke. REMelations is a dream interpretation podcast where we read listeners' dreams. From nightmares to the just plain bizarre, join us as we give you our comedic interpretation of your fucked up REM cycle. This week, I've got a dream from Leslie about island vacations, sketchy sidecars, secret forest forts, and of course, rap battles with pirate boys.
Yes, bring it on. We also have catnaps. And this week we have catnaps about meat. I can't even say it. Meat clowns. Rabid monkeys.
Oh no.
Creepy Uber drivers.
Ugh.
And of course, seducing demons. And stick around for part 2 of the Villisca Axe Murder House, where we talk about suspects and how this tragic story may or may not come to an end.
Ooh,
all right,
okay.
Bestie, grab your pastrami and your salami. Let's get started.
Woo!
Today has been one of those days I am like out of shits to give.
Mindy, you look stunning, but
please.
I could tell you look frazzled.
I don't know what it is, but like everything today is the smallest things are pissing me off. Like,
great.
Nothing big. Just like the person in front of me in line in the checkout just annoyed me.
You're like,
and the
I'm
driver.
gonna strangle you.
Anything today. I just feel so much bad energy, and I wonder what our astrological friends would say about today, because things are just off for me.
I would love to know, because I feel like.
What about you, for my fellow Virgo? Are you feeling the same or what?
Well, it's been escalating for, I would say, about the last 3 weeks.
I agree. I completely agree.
And I feel like it's been just ramping up, and I don't know what it is. I mean, I got attacked by everyone today, and by kids I don't even get attacked by. Something's going on in general. I don't know if it's just Virgos in general. Something is going on.
I don't
astrologically.
I don't know.
And I'm not digging it either. Mindy.
I'm ready to be past whatever star sign, rising, falling, retrograde. I am over it. Can we please move on to the next section? Because
Mindy
I'm
is
done.
It's
fine. All's fine. I'm fine.
The more you say I'm fine, the more I know you're not.
I know. Well, we'll get into it. We get into Kelly's wedding, but the whole week of the wedding, I'm like, I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Even you said it to me like, no, I'm good. I have everything. No, I'm fine. It's good. I'm fine.
Yes,
it's
if
good.
I say I'm fine, shit's not going fine. Okay.
Uh-oh. Mindy, should we just jump in and get started?
Let's go, bitch. I don't know. I'm in a mood. I'm just warning you now.
She's in a mood. That's okay. This dream's out there.
Okay.
And it's a little roller coaster, just
Great.
so you know.
I'm ready.
Bear with me.
I'm ready.
This is Leslie, and she's from Manchester.
Leslie.
And she says, please note that all things in quotations aren't exactly what I said.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly the words I used.
Understandable.
Okay, we appreciate that. Yes.
Yeah.
The dream started with me getting up from bed, and I was like, I can't tell if this is a dream or not.
Okay. Fake wake.
After that, the next thing I remember, I was on this island on vacation. Sounds good.
Nice.
Sounds good
nice.
so far. With this group. This group will make more sense later. Okay.
Okay.
I was like relaxing on those swim rings.
Oh, yes. I know about swim. I'm sorry. Sidebar.
You got really excited.
I did, because when Mark and I went to Jamaica, there was this. So it's like a ring in the water that's like tethered down by like a anchor or whatever.
Yeah.
But the bottom's mesh, and you just sit in this. Oh my God, that was like, we spent days with our little waterproofed speaker, our Bob Marley frozen drinks.
Lovely.
We loved our swim ring. If that's what that's what she's talking about.
I hope so, because that sounds amazing.
It was amazing.
But she did say I got swept away from the island after that.
Well, that's not so great.
It's kind of going up and down already.
Yeah.
I managed to clutch the edge of land on another area, not the previous island I mentioned.
You gotta do what you
Wow,
gotta do,
she got
girl.
swept away
Yeah.
far.
You're a survivor in that shit.
And then after that, I saw like a rescue boat or something. Then I was rescued on the boat. Then later, I got into this really sketchy sidecar. It was swaying quite a bit.
Like, are we like talking like a motorcycle sidecar or like
Well,
how many
we'll
side?
have to talk about that
Okay.
in a minute because I was like, on a boat? Like a sidecar on a boat? When did they get to land? I must have missed this
Yeah.
part. But yeah, I don't know, Mindy. I don't know. Just a sketchy
Okay.
sidecar, either on a boat
Or
or a
just like an
motorcycle
old timey car. Okay.
or an old timey car. Anyone's guess.
Sure.
After I asked if we were at the final stop, and the driver was like, "Yep, we are," or something. After that, I asked the driver, "How far away are we from the island, the one I was having the vacation on with the group, and how far away I was from home?" He told me how far away I was from home, and I was like, "Bitch, I'm not walking for a week just to get home."
Across the ocean, I ain't Jesus or shit. I can't walk on water.
Like,
It's an
so
island.
you're kind of close to your island, but it's still
You're
an
still
island
an
away.
island. I mean, that's hard. Unless you're gonna pull some miracles out of your ass.
Well, so I called my parents with my phone. Then the next thing I remember after that was I met up with the group. I think the group either consisted of 5 or 6 people, including me.
Good.
I also don't remember what they look like, sound like, or what gender they are.
Complete randos, a group of randos.
A complete group of randos
Love it.
couldn't have less information
Androgynous
on 'em.
randos. All the way.
I think we were like a secret group or something.
Ooh.
So our secret place was surrounded by trees. Don't remember what this place looked like. Sorry, just realized how kind of funny this stream is. I did this, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I was
I
there,
did
but I
this,
don't.
but I don't
The details
remember.
are easy.
After that, I remember walking on a thin beach.
Okay.
Now it's like very descriptive.
Mhm.
A thin beach next to some terrain walls.
Okay.
Something like a cliff.
Interesting.
Then after walking for a bit, I think I saw pirate ships. So I
Ooh.
was like, nah, fuck this shit, man. I'm out.
You don't want to deal with the pirates on a bad day.
You're just walking along your thin beach with your terrain,
Unless,
and you just
unless you're
don't
like,
want to see pirates.
hey, bro, do you got any rum?
Hey, where's the
Where's
rum?
the rum? That's the only thing I would ask a pirate for.
Oh, Mindy, I think you'd have lots of questions for a
That's
pirate.
true. That would not be my only question. You are
I was like,
absolutely right.
we'd
Lots
be
of
there
questions.
all day.
Tell me about the scurvy, man. Is it that bad?
Tell me, does it suck
Does
that
it
bad?
suck?
I'll
The
give you an
rats?
orange.
The rats?
Then some boy randomly popped out of nowhere. I tried to run away, but once I got to this ramp leading out from the beach, I felt tired. Like tired.
Oh.
Like extremely numb and barely made it above the ramp. For some reason, I was carrying a Rubik's Cube and
Of
dropped it.
of course you were. Because why
You
not?
can't go to the beach without your Rubik's Cube, Mindy.
I mean,
That's
maybe
like,
you should go back to the pirates. Maybe they know how to.
maybe they
They're
know
like
how
the
to solve it.
3-click guys. Yeah.
Oh, but I dropped it while going up the ramp. So the boy grabbed it and broke the Rubik's Cube apart.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
rude.
Yeah. Rude boy.
What a rude boy. Then after that, I started trash talking him like I was rapping an Eminem song. Like I was
Nice.
going ham on this boy nonstop. Get him, Leslie, get him.
Yes. That little bitch was walking down the ramp. He took my Rubik's Cube like a champ. Then he dropped it like an ass. Ooh,
yeah.
fuck that boy. Little jerk took my Rubik's Cube. Okay, that's all I got.
Mindy, you win. You win.
I feel like
I know you were retired from rapping, but maybe you should go rethink, come back into it.
It's
pretty, you're pretty talented.
Thank you.
Then after that, I start. Oh wait, sorry. But ham. That's not.
Back to the Rubik's Cube ramp. What the fuck?
Ham.
That little prick took my hand. He's such a dick. He took my Rubik's Cubes like a prick. Okay.
He took my Rubik's Cube like a prick.
Sorry. I gotta get all this bad energy out somehow.
Okay, get it out because you're
blurry.
I didn't want to say it because I'm afraid everything's going to make you mad.
No. Yep.
Okay. Then the next thing I remember, I was back at our secret base with the group.
God damn.
And I was on a somewhat high platform with railings overlooking the trees. Then one of the group members went up to me and said, "I think you took it a bit too far."
Oh, the rapper.
And then another one of the group members also went there and said a similar thing.
They didn't want me rapping, or?
I guess.
Okay.
I liked it. Oh. Then after that, this tree. I always feel like after that, that's how each paragraph starts. Then after that, the next thing I remember, I had to go home soon. So we went to this arcade place, still in the secret base.
Uh-huh.
And we went into the game. I just jumped head first and hit the screen and went into the game.
Sure. Yeah, makes sense.
But I don't remember what happened while we were in the game.
They were solving Rubik cubes and making raps and talking to pirates.
I just love some of it is so detailed, and then the rest is like
I don't remember.
No clue. Next thing I remember, we're out of the game, and I went back home. And that's the dream.
Good. How'd you get there? Did you hitch a ride with pirates? You walk across the water like Jesus? Did you?
Could be a little bit of everything,
get back on your boat. This is a typical dream where it is so nonsensical.
Mm-hmm.
Like so nonsensical between all the scene changes. Well, I don't know how you're gonna even start with this interpretation because it is going a million different directions.
You know me, I have a million different ideas. But before I jump into my analysis, I do want to remind our besties out there that submitting your dreams is so important to us. So please go to REMelations.com/support. But it's also where you can join our Patreon, which is our sleepover squad, for the best footage ever. You'll have so much fun with our behind the scenes.
You should see our rap dance. That was pretty cool.
Oh, you should have seen that just now. I mean, I was just kind of going with it. Mindy was the real talent behind it. Yeah, you're going to want to see some of this footage. Actually, you're going to want to see all of this footage. Mm-hmm. So please go to REMelations.com, check out our merch, and thank you.
Any way you can support us, we'd love it. Thank you.
Yes. I tried to keep this one short and sweet, Mindy, because it was like,
I mean,
so
it
crazy.
Really does.
If I went into
everywhere.
Every symbol, we'd be here all night. So I picked up on a general theme. So
sure,
hopefully we can get through this within 16 hours.
Excellent. Well, I've got about 17 to spare. You're just under the the gun.
Good. I'm glad we're on the same time frame here.
Yeah. Well, you know, what's 17's out? Okay, it's 9:20 now. 17 hours from now is about 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Sounds about right.
We're good.
Yeah.
I just have to go to work for, part of the day, like 8 hours of it. Okay, so first of all, I kind of talked about it already, but it starts with her not realizing if it's a dream. That was the first thing she said. So the dream already starts off with confusion or a misunderstanding, let's say, of some type. But then she gets to go hang out on an island with a group on vacation in her swim ring, Mindy. Like,
love the swim ring reference.
It's down, it's up, but she's relaxing. So immediately her situation gets better.
Mm-hmm.
So is there a problem in her waking life, one that is just constantly back and forth? Just when you think it's good, it goes bad quickly and frequently. Speaking of which, she's then swept away by the water. And then guess what?
To another island.
Finds safety on another island.
Yes, yeah.
So it really is just this up and down like faster than I've ever seen in a dream. Like it usually it's like it's good for a while and then it goes bad.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then it maybe gets good again. This is
This
like
is just
good,
bizarre
bad,
all
good,
around. Yeah.
bad. Like oh, crazy. And then like I said, the back and forth is crazy, but the rescue boat, is she saved? And she's safe now. So again, it's good.
Yeah.
But now she's on a sidecar. We don't know if it's a boat.
A sidecar.
Um,
I only think of like a motorcycle that has like that little sidecar,
well,
like where,
that's what I think of when I hear sidecar, but
but
she
a boat
mentioned that she was
sidecar
in a
sounds
boat and then a
interesting.
sidecar. So I'm like,
A sidecar. Isn't it called like a life raft or a rescue
yeah,
boat?
maybe it's just like one of those, oh, what are they called? Zodiacs?
Dinghies?
Those
Is
like,
it a,
yeah, like a dinghy, like those inflatable boats that
yeah,
kind
she's
of
just
go
on a
behind.
dinghy. Hashtag sidecar.
Hashtag sketchy
Sketchy
sidecar.
sidecar.
So again, she's rescued, but she doesn't feel safe. But wait, then she's dropped off nowhere close to this vacation island
Yeah.
or her group. But she called her parents for help, which of course is a complete sign of comfort.
Mm-hmm.
So again, this whole thing
Like
is
the
just
check-ins. Like she's
good,
always trying to
bad.
check in with everything. Like, I want to go back to this island. I want to get in with the group. I need to check in with the pirates. I need to like
Check in with
oh,
the
maybe that was just
pirates.
me. But I got to check
That
with
was
my
just
parents.
me.
That was just me. I just have questions for the pirates.
So that's kind of like the first part of the
Mm-hmm.
dream. Like I said, I didn't want to get too far into the weeds with analyzing each symbol
Sure.
because this dream
There's a
just
lot.
is too
Yeah.
many. But I think the most important thing is we talked about this hellish tug of war that she's dealing with and just the chaos that's going around her, and it's maybe even to distract her.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure, because it's so wild. It's so
Everything's
like
like such a big
such a
swing.
change. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like maybe something's trying to distract her from what's really going on. So the last part of the dream starts with them, the secret group in a secret fort in the woods. So this is also good, bad, but in a very
Yeah.
different way because the fort and even the beach with like what she mentioned, the high terrain kind of shows protection.
Mm-hmm.
Because
They had the
if you're in the
wall.
woods, it's secret, and then you've got these high walls to protect you. But if you look at it on the other hand, maybe the woods don't even represent protection. Maybe all the secrecy and questions and the forest itself can be a feeling of being lost or overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
And then
A pirate boy with a Rubik's Cube.
with a Rubik's Cube. But pirates tend to represent taking advantage of others when you dream
Okay,
about
sure.
them. So, I mean, that's kind of a given, but is Leslie maybe struggling with some bad decisions she made herself? Or is this a warning for dishonest people in her life?
Mm-hmm.
So, like you said, she's got this Rubik's Cube. Quite literally, I did look it up, but more than anything, it presents more confusion, challenges, problems in her waking life. It is really just a problem that needs to be solved.
Yeah.
It's something that in 1 second it could be this pristine puzzle, and in the next second it's just complete mess. And
Mm-hmm.
it seems like, yeah, that's what her life is in this
Right.
dream. It's like
Yeah.
1 second it's completely solved, and then the next second it's like,
Complete
I don't know
chaos
how
again. Yeah.
I don't know how we get back from
Yeah.
that. And then the stupid prick boy broke it. But this actually really pissed her off. It was like the first time in the dream when she kind of finally snapped and she couldn't take it anymore. So you fight back with everything you've got. And of course, in this situation, it's the rap battle with a pirate boy.
um now I'm confused. Did I just make it a rap battle or was it a did she say rap battle?
She did. She said,
Because I was like, did I just make that up in my
no,
own
no.
hilarity or
She said, then I started trash talking him like I was rapping
okay.
an Eminem song, like
Yes.
I was going ham on this boy.
Love it. Okay.
So this rap battle though, who does this little shit represent in her waking life? Because this is the person in the dream who clearly gets a lot of emotions out of her.
Mhm.
Or just there's just a lot of emotions
Something she
going
can feel
on in this part.
expressive with. Like, she
Yeah.
feels like she has a lot to get off her chest in a rap
Mhm.
battle
And
for
this
sure.
is the guy she is going ham on. So clearly a lot of emotions going on here, but she lets him have it.
Yeah.
So this was the first part where I was wondering, does she maybe have anger issues
Mm.
or regret something she said or did in the past?
Yeah.
Or is there just kind of this deep hurt with whatever this relationship is with this pirate boy? I'm not trying to make it sound silly, but
No, I get you.
there's obviously something with this pirate boy. And oh, Mindy, the symbolism for a rap battle, I could go on
Interesting. Okay.
for another
Really?
couple episodes.
Okay. I never thought it would have so much deep meaning to it, but okay. I'd love
Well,
to hear
and
it.
I just kind of pulled the stuff that made the most sense because I was reading a couple really interesting articles.
Yeah.
Basically, so to keep it short and sweet, it is an important part of her dream and obviously her waking life too, this
Mhm.
rap battle. It's when she finally takes a stand, and I guess what she's dealing with, like a rap battle, it's intense. It's competitive. It's a lot of expression. It's
Mhm.
confrontation with the other person. And
But
really, it boils
respectful
down.
confrontation, really. I mean, when it comes down to rap battles, they're usually like respectful
Oh, yeah, you
confrontation.
respect what the other person is
The
saying,
another
but
artist. Yes.
yes, it is artistic expression.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What it boils down to, I think, is just communication issues. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe she's not
And
going about it
decision
right
making,
by,
or like
yes,
knowing a path to go. It seems like
right.
it almost seems like Leslie's pulled in 1,000 different directions in her waking life. Like,
Mm-hmm.
whether it be through work or family or personal life, she is just being drained by 1,000 different things, like a
It
1,000
is.
different directions.
Yep.
And then
There's
not
not
being able
a
to communicate it, I think, like you said.
yeah, absolutely. And how can you sometimes when you're being pulled in 1,000 different directions? So after the rap battle with Pirate Boy, we're back with the secret group, and she's being told by the other members that she took it too far. And now this is
Yeah,
just telling me again in my gut that maybe she did
like a
something
check.
in her past
Yeah.
that she can't get past. Maybe it's
She's
something
questioning if yeah.
questioning if she did go too far with what she said or did at some point.
Well, that's hard. I mean, isn't that everyone kind of
Yeah,
reliving those things? Like, you're like, you
we
have a fight or
all are.
whatever, and you're like, did I just overstep the lines? Probably.
But I mean, I feel like this is actually something that obviously is nagging at her.
Sure.
So it just might be a dream to realize, hey, I got to deal with what I did, or I'm never going to get over this particular
Yeah.
situation, or I have to deal with what this person did. Same thing.
Yeah.
Somebody did something real
Yeah.
bad, I feel like.
Sure.
And there's a lot of hurt feelings around the situation, and you can feel it in just the chaos of the
Yeah.
dream. We have them at an arcade jumping into the game. And there's not much
The end. Yeah.
detail here except that she jumps into the game.
Like an escapism, like a
Yes,
leaving.
she doesn't remember anything, but then all of a sudden she's home. But that's exactly what I put. I put,
Yeah.
is this her escaping? I'm not even
Yeah.
kidding, Mindy.
No,
From
I'm with you.
one strange, confusing
One
reality into
stressful
one
situation to another. Like,
maybe that
leave this.
she finds more fun. I don't know if she likes games or not, but it's again, is this just another distraction
Mm-hmm.
from the craziness? Again, since this has come up quite a few times in this stream, I feel like maybe she's blocking out some of these important memories that she does need to deal with that
Mm-hmm.
are the things that are holding her back in her
Yeah.
life. And all of a sudden, she's back home. And the dream
Yeah.
ends the same way it started. Back at home, no resolution.
Doesn't know if she's dreaming or not.
Nope.
The thing I love about this
Oh,
dream is that, and I think not everyone dreams in a grandiose drama sense that I might, or some of our listeners might. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
it's not always an action movie. Sometimes it is so disconnected and stitched together by random weird
that's
things.
what your
and I think that's what I love
subconscious is,
about
right?
this. Yeah.
That
Not everyone
that is
dreams in a continuity or in
no,
a,
not
sens-
in
a
necessarily
sensical
in
way.
linear timeline either. Like this is just whimsical from start to finish, but at the same time, like crazy
And
and
there's still
sad,
some
and
there's still
it's
some
got everything.
pull through topics, which you hit on perfectly. I think
So that's our little Leslie from Manchester.
Thanks, Leslie.
Wherever, Manchester somewhere.
Let us know about that boat sidecar, that dinghy.
Oh, I need to know.
We need to know more. We need to know more. Please.
Thank you, Leslie.
All right, Brooke, that brings us to our question of the week. Bestie, if you're not sure what this is the time of the show where we read a question, ponder an answer. We love for you to get into the conversation. So if you'd like to answer this question, go to Facebook and search for the REMelations Besties Facebook group because we want to know what you think. But Brooke, are you ready?
I'm never ready, but yes, go ahead.
Ooh, here we go.
Oh, no.
Would you rather live in a world where it constantly snows?
No, I'm saying no right now.
Or constantly rains?
Oh, rain. I love rain.
Really? But of wetness? Oh,
snow's wet too, Mindy.
Only if it gets above the temperature of melting.
Well, it has to. I guess it doesn't if it's always going to be snow.
So here's what I'm thinking. That's why
Here we go.
So you say, but your first answer was rain.
I still go with rain.
Okay.
100%. Like that one wasn't even difficult for me.
You did. You answered it so quickly.
Because I hate snow so much. I live in the wrong place, I know. But I hate snow. I hate driving in it. I was in a bad accident, but like still I hate driving it. It makes me so nervous still. And no, I like the rain, but anything is going to get tiresome after some point. Even sunshine, you don't want 365 days of the year because then you don't appreciate it. Like you need those rainy, snowy days to appreciate the nicer ones. But if you're never going to get a nice one, I'm going to take rain.
Okay, I'm struggling with this one a bit because I hate being cold. Like I will take hot over cold any day of the week. But I'm the
opposite, which
I hate being wet.
This is a lose-lose situation for you, Mindy.
So can I have my car garage and pull into a portico everywhere I go because I'm going then with rain? But if not, if I have to use an umbrella, that makes my feet wet and I have to step in puddles, and then I'm going to snow as long as it doesn't.
Worst case scenario, you have to use an umbrella or it's minus 20 and you have to plow through the snow to get to your car, something like that.
Yeah, that makes an excellent point because you do not have to shovel the rain. I mean, not like I shovel the snow. That's my lovely husband's wonderful job.
Still,
I'm so appreciative.
You do not have to shovel the rain, which is the best part of it all, actually. And it makes our crops grow.
But you can't flood them. Constant rain?
I guess. Yeah, I guess we'd have to come up with all new agriculture, huh?
Okay, hydroculture. I have to agree with you on this one. I'm going to go with constant rain because I just really hate cold more than I hate wet, but barely. Barely.
It was a close one for Mindy, but hey peeps, we agreed. Bestie, we agreed. Yay!
Let us know by joining our Facebook group, REMelations Besties. Search for it. Let us know your answer.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Mindy, we are at our segment we call Cat Naps. This is a time on the show where we don't read longer dreams. We read short dreams, dream stories, thoughts about dreams that might be one sentence or just, an idea. But we want to get you on the show, get your dreams and ideas out there. So we kind of go through them kind of quick. Don't analyze them too much, but we have a lot of fun. Mindy, do you have something you want to get us started with?
I do. And this is Andy with an I.
I was going to ask.
Andy with an I from Mobile, Alabama. Mobile.
Wow, didn't we have someone from Mobile last episode or recently?
Could have been, but hello to all of our Alabama buddies.
Hello, Bamas.
The nightmare begins with me sitting on my usual spot on the couch.
Oh, no.
Where I usually use my laptop. No one was home, though, and it was only me, which rarely happens.
Well, that sounds lovely.
Is it raining or snowing?
Delightful.
Either way, I'm tucked away for the night.
In my jammies.
It was also nighttime, and my home's interior had a red undertone to it.
Ugh,
but I didn't seem to notice this for whatever reason.
That doesn't
But you did.
You did notice it because you just mentioned
did.
it. Yeah, so you did notice.
Nothing happened for a bit until I felt a shift in the atmosphere.
No.
Then slowly, the song... Okay, I don't know if you know this song, but this got me laughing. It's by Napoleon the 19th. It's called,
I know this song, Napoleon, by Napoleon the 19th.
That's what he says. They're coming to take me away. Ha ha, ho, hee hee.
You're not
coming
singing.
To take me
You're
away.
just kind of talking. I want to hear the song.
That's how it goes.
But you have to sing it.
That's how it goes.
They're coming
to take me away. Ha ha, ho ho, hee hee. They're coming to take me away. That is the song.
Better. Okay. I get it, but I just wanted a little music to it.
You just wanted me to like shift my arm around with a pirate face? They're coming to take me away. Ha ha.
You have to look like Popeye or I'm not going to be happy.
Okay, so they're singing They're Coming to Take Me Away by Napoleon the 9th. No, wait, 14th, sorry. XIV,
well, that's
14th.
Mindy, that's why I didn't know what you were talking about. I don't know Napoleon the 9th.
That is so hard. It started to play from somewhere, like a disembodied voice. Then I heard thumping coming from the basement.
I don't like any part of this dream anymore.
You don't love that song. I get up to check, but when I open the door, two big meat-like clowns are there and approaching at a walking speed.
I don't know what's creepier, the walking speed or that they're meat-like.
Or the
Do they
fucking
still have
song.
makeup on? And
they're coming to take me away.
They're coming to take me away.
Is it like pastrami on their faces? I don't know what meat like.
See, I thought of ground meat.
Oh.
See, you thought of sandwich meat.
I thought of like fleshiness. I was thinking like loose flesh, like pastrami and salami on your face.
More pastrami. Pastrami and more pastrami.
But you were thinking like ground meat, which is also disturbing.
That's why I was like, gross. Not that the other's like not gross.
No, meat faces, gross
pastrami meat
all
face
around. Oh God, I don't like it. Okay. And the song. Meanwhile, the song still plays. And it gets distorted and almost ghostly right when I see the clowns. So it's, I'm coming to take you away.
I mean, we're laughing, but if you were in this situation, it might be the scariest thing in the entire world.
Yes, it would be.
You open a door and there's two meaty clowns coming at
one
you.
With ground beef and one with salami.
We could make a tasty sandwich if we get both these clowns. Is there a cheese clown somewhere down there?
I hope so. I really hope so. It's hard to describe what exactly they looked like, but think the most generic looking clowns, like some cheap horror game.
Well, this isn't making it better by any means.
God, this stream is cracking me up. Okay, hold on. I gotta compose myself. Okay. Okay, so we're getting some descriptions from Andy here.
Oh boy, okay.
Unless meat faces was not enough for you.
I mean, meat face was plenty, but let's do it.
One was smaller and more stout than the other.
And the other, the salami.
Of course it was. And the other was freakishly tall, and that was
the pastrami. Pastrami and salami.
Oh, fucking creepiest clowns I've ever run across.
What if that was their names? We'd like to hire you for our daughter's 5th birthday party. What are your clowns' names? Pastrami and Salami.
Okay.
Never mind. We'll call you back.
So Pastrami, the freakishly tall one, leaned down just to get through the basement door. So he was very tall.
That's too tall. That's creepy tall.
They had grotesque wrinkles and were messy, smeared with white grease paint, black beady eyes, and neon rainbow wigs and clown suits.
I say, run the fuck away.
This freaked me out in my dream, of course, and I ran away.
Oh, good. Thank God she's got good senses.
Running out of the house with only my pajamas on, down a red and black version of my neighborhood.
Oh, red. That's interesting.
With not another person in sight. The sky was also pitch black.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. So all that color, all that pastrami, all that salami, all that ground beef, just
all mixed up into one weird thing.
All I heard was that song still playing on the loop as I ran.
That's
the
creepy.
Clowns still walking after me.
No!
Faster.
No!
I eventually ran to a circus tent, which I
don't go there. That's probably their home.
That's like the worst place you could go.
Go anywhere besides the circus
Go to the
tent.
police station. Go to a neighbor's. Don't go to the goddamn circus tent.
Oh my God.
That's the worst thing ever, Andy. But then she says, which we don't have in my neighborhood at all.
Well, not normally. Not normally. There's usually not a circus tent up in most neighborhoods.
Surprise. Okay, here's the end. Inside was bright red with green swirls and mirrors.
Lots
the clowns
of colors.
Eventually caught up with me.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
And started attacking me by biting and stabbing me.
That's not good.
Then all I remember is screaming right before I woke up.
Yikes, Andy. That's a tough one.
That is horrifying.
Woo! That might be one of the most disturbing dreams we've ever read.
It takes clowns to a whole new level.
I'm still not sure what meat
a meat clown is.
A meat clown is, but I can picture whatever I need to in my head to get through this dream.
I'm just saying, meat is not spelled an M-E-E-T clown. It's a M-E-A-T.
No,
clown.
I totally get it, but
clown.
Meat clown. I think we have an episode for this. Our title.
Meat clowns. Oh my God.
Oh God. That's
between
funny.
child pirates and meat
pirate
clowns,
boys.
We're just getting started.
Meat clowns. This is Josh from Milwaukee. There's a title to this one, and
Excellent.
I'm trying to decide
titles.
if I want the title.
Okay. You know, give it away or not. Give it away now.
He titled his dream, "I got bitten by a monkey and had to rush to the hospital for a rabies shot."
Seems like a good thing to do.
It feels like
Smart.
that.
That's a great
could be
choice.
fine with just the title. I feel like I get the gist.
Right. It seems like a whole dream right in the title.
First, it was a bunny rabbit that appeared outside my window.
Okay.
And then he slowly morphed into a monkey. Then the monkey got inside and bit me.
How? Lock your
Monkeys are
windows
always
and
funny.
doors. They have
Why do
thumbs,
you have,
though.
what kind of, Milwaukee? They have morphing rabbits into monkeys?
I don't know how indigenous monkeys are to Milwaukee, but I'm guessing not very.
I would guess not very to not at all.
Pretty much 0 to -0%.
Yes, I agree. Then my room slowly morphed into the back of a van that my friends were driving to the hospital. While en route, it dawned on me, the monkey is still in here.
No, bad monkey.
The monkey emerged and jumped across the van, biting me again.
Well, shit.
I woke up shortly after that, but I did really want to see how the dream would play out. I agree, Josh. If you ever have like a sequel to the dream, I want to know what happens.
I don't know if I want to know how that dream continues because I just feel like rabid monkey attacks. Like, I don't.
Well, we don't know if it was rabid. They were just being precautious and taking their friend to the hospital in case the monkey did have rabies. How often do you hear that
rabid
sentence?
Monkeys. Yeah.
In
not
case
often.
the monkeys did have rabies. Well, watch out for those monkeys in Milwaukee, Josh.
You gotta be on guard. All right. Next, I have Emily. Oh, and here's another great spelling for you: Emilee, Emily.
Ooh, I like that. I've never seen that. I like it.
I think that's how I spell my French name because I was Emily.
Were
in
you?
French class? Yeah.
Do you remember my French name?
Okay, I could.
No, that's not it.
Jezebel.
Close. I was Dominique.
Dominique, and I was Emily.
Dominique,
I spelled it
Emily.
Emille, just so.
I like it.
Yeah, okay. I spent the whole day rolling around New York City on red roller skates.
Ooh, more red. More red.
When I got home to my apartment, I actually haven't lived there in years, by the way, I found Anthony Bourdain in my kitchen.
Ooh, currently?
I said, wait, you're dead.
Okay, I was going to say, when did this happen? When did this stream occur?
Emily knew he had passed. Wait,
Okay.
You're dead. Anthony then turned around and said, I'll show you who's dead. And started making out with me.
What?
Then
what
I woke
kind
up.
of line is that? I'll show you who's dead.
That's like a pickup line
for no one.
Yeah, for no one.
For just no one. I don't find. I can't think of any situation where that would be a good pickup line.
No, but R.I.P. Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah, R.I.P. And to mental health, as we always say.
Yes, always. Yes, mental health.
Oh gosh. Whew. Okay. This is Kara, and she's from Vermont, and she actually just has a dream question.
Okay.
And I don't have an answer to it, so I thought I'd just pose it to everyone. Is there any way to make my dreams more fun, wondrous, long, and have a plot line like they used to a few years ago?
Ooh.
I really want to have long, vivid, and complex dreams. I totally get it, Kara, because especially since she says she used to, what has changed for you where you're not having these dreams anymore? And that's kind of what I think.
It's going to have a shift in real life, right?
Yeah, that's going to be the question you have to answer to get back to that. But I could totally understand the frustration where you maybe escape to your dream world, and that's what so many of us do at night. But like,
that's so interesting because I found out. Well, I mean, you know me. I've always been a very vivid dreamer my whole life. But when I was in my awful relationship with my first husband, I did not dream for like 8 years, and being a person that dreams every single day, all through my whole life, all through high school,
suck.
I didn't dream for a very long time. So I feel like some people repress their dreams when they're feeling more stressed, and you know, like your dreams are supposed to make you solve problems, but I think also if there's like an inordinate amount of stress, then
you can't deal with it.
You just shut down. Your body just needs to like replenish brain cells at that point.
You're like, I can't figure out this Rubik's Cube right now. I just need to fucking
my real life is more complex than my dream world. So check your stress levels, girl.
I like it. Good answer, Mindy.
Okay. Oh, this is crazy. I've got another dream from Milwaukee.
Oh, okay.
Yes. This is Grace from Milwaukee. And she titles this, Ditched by a Celebrity Crush.
Ooh, I can't wait to hear who it is.
I somehow won the opportunity to hang out with my celebrity crush.
Who is it? Who is it?
I'm going to tell you right now, she doesn't go into who it is. So
damn it!
Sorry. But let's
well, let me hear a little bit more about this situation, then I'll try to guess who it is.
Okay. Perfect for a hashtag.
I know.
So, We were going to do something together, but he insisted I went to his house first.
No, cancel the date. I don't
You're
like
feeling
it.
like weird
I'm
celebrity
getting
creepo?
weird vibes already. I know it's your celebrity crush, whoever that may be, but
We're gonna go,
no.
but no, let's come on over. Let's check out my pad.
Let's go somewhere in public first.
Of course. I was nervous, and it was weird.
Yeah.
After a bit, his agent came over to talk to me. Celebrity crush then says we would still go to the event together, but asks if it's okay if we arrive separately and he takes his personal jet.
What? Is this for that night? That same night?
This sounds like the worst date ever. Come over to my house, but we have to arrive separately to my shindig, and I'm going to take a jet, and you can find your own way there.
Meet me there in 6 hours? Like, where are they coming from and where are they going?
Of course, I said okay, even though it hurt my feelings.
Yeah?
He left.
I
was left in his house, and I was struggling to find a flight to the event.
Jesus Christ, this is all... He's gone. She's at his house alone, trying to find a flight.
He's like, here's my house. I gotta go. Find your own ride. I don't like this.
This is a creepy guy. This is like a... this is a creepy guy.
This is where we get into a hard point, because you're going to hashtag someone, but we're
I
kind
don't
of already
wanna
making
hashtag
fun of
anyone that
them.
I'm thinking of.
Okay, well, we just gotta do it. Why not? Fuck. Let's hit... Here we're gonna go. We're gonna hashtag celebrity heartthrob asshole, but we want to know what they dream. Let's cause a little controversy here. They want to respond because we're calling them out.
Who do you
celebrity
think it should be?
Heartthrob asshole. Who are you going with? Who's a playboy?
How about Hugh Hefner?
He's dead.
I know.
So we gotta. Because I hate to do it this way, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta stir up some controversies. I loved his music at one point.
Oh.
But he broke Taylor Swift's heart.
I know who it is. Well, no, I can't. She's had a lot of broken hearts.
Well, but no. Okay. You really think about taking advantage of a 19-year-old?
Oh, 19 Taylor Swift? That is creepy.
Okay.
Creepy. JM.
JM, you know who I'm talking about. Yeah.
Right. I know who you're talking about.
Hashtag.
Right. Hashtag.
What does John Mayer dream? We are so not excited about this one, but I do.
I feel icky.
I feel icky. This is the first one I've ever really felt icky about. No, I did enjoy his music so much, but as soon as I found out I don't know. Come on this podcast. Tell your side of the story. We'd love to know. If you dream kittens and butterflies,
bring it.
Tell us.
Great.
Tell us. John Mayer.
Great. I don't think you do, but...
Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. We both have very pursed faces at this moment. Okay.
Well, we do have very pursed faces.
We have a very
I've never liked John Mayer's music, but so I'm not happy
I went through
about
a phase.
This at all.
I went through a phase.
So you must be conflicted a bit. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Bad boy. No. Okay. John, let us know what you dream, please.
He was never a bad boy. He wanted to be a bad boy. I feel like, but he wasn't.
It's very complex. It's very
half-assed.
Okay. So I'm thinking it's John Mayer. Okay, so that's just my interpretation of this dream. Doesn't mean it's necessarily what Grace from Milwaukee dreamt. Okay, so John Mayer left, or he left. I was left in his house, and I was struggling to find a flight to the event. I called an Uber to take me to the airport. When the Uber arrives, the celebrity's Uber driver, let me say that again. The celebrity's butler, Uber driver, and I are all standing at the front door trying to find me a flight, which was nice.
That's nice that they're helping.
Right? I mean, here's my house. Here's my mansion.
Bye.
Go? No.
Yeah, peace out.
The Uber driver then approaches me from behind and gives me a hug. trying to comfort me.
No,
I'm
not. Oh,
visibly.
from behind?
No, your Uber driver should not hug you at all. In any reason why?
No, not from behind.
He tries to comfort me. I am visibly upset by this move, and he apologizes.
Yeah.
And then she finishes it with, ditched by a celebrity crush, and then comforted by a weirdo Uber driver. Question mark?
I snorted. That would have been a great title for the dream too. I like how she summed it up so well at the end, but would have been a great title too. Gross.
Yeah, that's a bad night. Bad night. You should have said no
that.
from the beginning. Should have said no.
I have a dream from Anonymous, but it does have a title.
Okay.
I had sex with a demon.
Again? Man, I like these ones.
Well, this is really short. It's more,
Okay.
this is also, I guess, I have a lot of dream questions tonight,
Yeah.
but it says, as the title says, plus, I'm the one who initiated it.
Oh, hello.
Okay. Even the goddamn demon was shocked. I don't know who this is, but I like you, Anonymous. Does anybody know what this means? This is not my first time either. But
what? Just
sex was definitely good.
First time doing it, or first time doing it with a demon is my question.
I think demon. I think
Okay,
demon. I think this is a demon fucker.
Man, I think you should get that tattoo.
Oh, good old demon fuckers. I know it's a problem some people have, but thank you for sharing.
She's got a type.
Everybody's got a type.
Everybody's got a type.
I think you should just keep going for it, man. If you're having good sex dreams, as long as that demon isn't doing it and you're initiating it, that shows the power. I think you're going to be just fine, Anonymous. Just go with the flow.
All right, to wrap up our catnap segment, I've got Scott from El Paso, Texas.
Ooh.
Lately, my dreams have been confusing as my waking life.
And
I'm starting to wonder if they're trying to tell me something. Yes. The answer is yes, Scott. They're always trying to tell you something.
Yes, Scott, they are.
I mean, at least I would say 60% of the time. The other night, I found myself in an abandoned building with a friend and a random bodybuilder. Someone I don't know in real life. It was one of those eerie places that feels both familiar and unsettling.
Okay.
Like it had been left behind by the world.
Oof.
As we were wandering around, I noticed a hole in the ground, partially covered up, like something had tried to seal it off but didn't finish the job.
Oh.
We were just mindlessly walking when suddenly 2 tiny people crawled out of the hole. They were small, like miniature versions of humans, barely reaching our knees. At first, at first they seemed upset, frustrated even, like we'd interrupted something that we weren't supposed to see. But as we stood there, they started to calm down, and they did something I wasn't expecting.
Oh, no.
They asked for our help. They wanted to grow, to become real full-sized humans like us.
How are you supposed to help? What are you supposed to do?
They were pleading, almost desperate, like being small wasn't enough. Like they were trapped in their miniature bodies and needed us to help set them free.
Oh.
And that was Scott.
Scott, let us know if you were ever to help those poor little people.
Tiny humans.
Tiny humans.
What do you call them?
Because they were like fully
miniature
formed.
Humans.
Miniature humans, because they were like fully formed, right? But just tiny, like a Barbie.
Miniature humans. You just gotta. I don't know how you go about doing that.
That's a tricky situation you got there, Scott.
Tricky. I'm glad they weren't evil, though. I mean, that could have gone a totally different way.
It could have gone real left.
Real bad, real quick. Bestie, it comes to that part of the show where we need your help. We're desperately pleading on our knees for your help.
Ooh.
I know. Brooke, that's not the usual way you're on your knees. But other than that...
Oh, damn.
We need you to tell one friend about the show. That is, tell your bestie. You can tell a complete stranger, or you can tell your next creepy Uber driver that gives you a hug from behind.
No.
About the podcast. Maybe you should just say, like, don't hug me, just put on this podcast and we can just continue driving to where I'm supposed to go without your hands on my body.
5 stars if you don't touch me.
Yeah, just don't touch me. Tell someone about the podcast, Bestie. That's how we grow. That's how we keep coming back to you each and every week, is by you just sharing with one person. That's how we're doing amazing. This podcast is taking off and we want you to help spread the word.
I love it.
All right, Brooke, moving on to our October stories. I'm not calling it
spectacular.
I
knew you weren't gonna say it.
Can't say the word spooks because it's just overly used, except for your cat, which he needs his own time. Spooky has his own month.
Yeah, he has April, let's say. That's his month.
So I'm going to continue part 2 of the Villisca Axe Murders.
I can't. Oh, I've been so excited to hear this.
So to catch anyone up who didn't catch the last episode 150, we talked about a small town in Iowa called Villisca, where a family of 6 plus 2 friends got murdered the night of June 10th, 1912. In a quiet town, I'm just going to go through a little bit of history here. A quiet town, not a whole lot of crime. A whole family was brutally murdered.
Mm-hmm.
And just to give you an idea of the victims, we have Josiah Moore and his family. So Josiah's 43, his wife Sarah, 39, his son Herman, 11, Mary Catherine, and 10, his son Arthur, 7, Paul, 5, and the Stillinger sisters, who were Mary Catherine's friends, who were 12 and 8, Lena and Ina.
Babies. They were just babies.
So when we left the story, the townsfolk were going through the crime scene. There was an axe left in the guest room where Lena and Ina were murdered. There was blood everywhere, and no one had an idea of why this happened.
Right.
What I'm getting into,
brutal axe murders, though. Like the sharp end and the blunt end.
The blunt end.
Yeah.
So what I want to get into tonight is the suspect list.
Oh.
And this is an unsolved case. So Brooke, at the end of this, I want to know your ideas of what you think might be or might not be.
You know, my mind's going to change 100 times, but I'm going to listen to everything.
All right. So we're going to start with Samuel Moore. He is Josiah's brother-in-law. He was questioned. So brother-in-laws, you know how brother-in-laws are. You know, you can get pissed off at a family thing. He had supposedly threatened to kill him at one point. But
everyone has said that. I'm going to kill you, or I want to kill you. Yeah.
That asshole. I'm going to kill him if he does anything to my sister. You know, that type of thing.
Yes.
But Josiah's brother-in-law, Samuel, was eventually cleared with his alibi. So
good.
I don't think there's anything much there personally. I was going to move on from that. The next suspect was Andrew Sawyer. Andrew Sawyer was detained and interrogated. Interrogated?
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound wrong?
Interrogated.
Interrogated. Andrew Sawyer was detained and interrogated on June 8th, which is only 8 days past the murders. Mm-hmm. He was a transient in town who had been local to the area at the time. Now, here's things that, you know, it's easy to point to those who are disenfranchised, of course.
Yeah.
He was a man who had been known to sleep in his clothes with an axe by his bed. So, because he had an axe by his bed, you know, he was immediately a suspect. Like, everyone's like, who's this guy?
I don't know. Maybe in 1912, like, maybe you kept an axe by your bed.
I would keep something by my bed. That's for sure.
Right? Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, but if you have to, like, protect everything you have is what you own is on you or near
on your person. Yeah, you need to protect that. Yeah, okay. I get it.
So on the morning of the murders, a bridge foreman that was a pile driver for the Burlington Railroad was
Mm.
approached by Andrew Sawyer. The crew was working in Creston. They noticed he was clean shaven, he had a brown suit, his shoes were muddy, and his pants were wet to the knee. Andrew Sawyer
Okay.
asked for work because they were short on help. He was given a job on the spot. So this is just like the day after the murders had happened.
Sure. But did he have an axe with him?
Well,
Because
he slept with it.
the axe was left
Good
at the
point.
house though.
Excellent point.
So
Excellent point. The next day, as he joined this crew, he was very interested in the newspaper articles about the murders. But honestly, like if that's your only entertainment at the time, was like everyone interested? Like,
and everyone in the town had already
OMG.
like gone through the house
Yeah.
and looked at the dead bodies at this
And
point.
played
Like,
with the axe and looked at the bacon.
touched everything. So
Took
yeah,
skull
he should not
fragments.
be blamed for having a few questions.
So no, I at this point, like for me, Andrew Sawyer, he was interested because he read a newspaper article. Doesn't make him a suspect, but
No.
so to finish up, he had been able to prove he was in the town of Osceola, Iowa, the night of the murders, because he had been arrested for vagrancy, and the sheriff of the town recalled putting him on the train at approximately 11 p.m.
I knew Andrew was innocent. I knew
hours
it.
before the murders happened. And he headed away from Villisca. So for me, like he was a suspect for a moment in time just because he had been around the town. He was
Right.
a vagrant. But of course, the
It was an
easiest
easy
thing to point
target.
to
Mhm.
is those who are unhoused.
Yes.
Now, this one, Brooke, is interesting to me.
Okay.
Oh, and there's a lot of podcasts I listen to who really hone in on this guy. So let me get your
Okay.
thoughts on this guy.
All right.
This
I'm
is
ready.
Reverend George Kelly. So Reverend George Kelly originally came from England, and he and his wife had settled in Macedonia, Illinois in 1912, the same year as the murders.
Mm-hmm.
Reverend Kelly was a traveling preacher.
Okay.
You know, those preachers that just go around and spread the word, the good word.
Spread the good word on their soapboxes.
Kelly was about to enter the Presbyterian seminary and was doing some work for the church. So on June 9th, the day before the murders, he came to the Children's Day services, which, if you remember from our previous episode, was where the whole family was the night before the murders.
Okay.
So it places him in the same town at the same time.
So right now it seems like they're just pointing fingers at anybody that's kind of an outsider at this point.
Anyway, yeah, outsiders, right? Or people who are disenfranchised. So Kelly, the next day on June 10th, left town early at 5:19 a.m.
In a hurry, Reverend Kelly, for any particular reason?
Just before the bodies were discovered, he approached the westbound train number 5. He allegedly told fellow travelers there were 8 dead souls back in Villisca, although the bodies had not yet been found.
What? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you say something like that unless you wanted to be caught?
Good point. And it's very, very interesting, the timing of this, because
Yeah.
if you go back to our last episode, it was around 5 a.m. when the nosy neighbor came over, knocked on the doors, asking why hadn't they been out doing their chores, where are the children, why are the horses had not been fed, why are the chickens still in the coop.
And she let the chickens out.
It's like a good neighbor. Mary let chickens out. But why would he have that information? Why would he say that?
Yeah. That's very specific information before the bodies. He even says it before the bodies have been found. Like, how does he
there were
know
8 dead souls back in Villisca. But then again, we get down to the idea of witnesses and what they remember and timing, because timing is a very interesting thing with witnesses.
But also, there really aren't many witnesses.
And I honestly couldn't tell you anyone I saw today at the Meijer.
Like, I could tell you the people.
There was a guy in a red shirt. I couldn't tell you what exact time it was.
No, I'd be the
I
worst
couldn't tell you what
witness
he bought.
in the history of crime because I can't remember what I wore yesterday, let alone what
Right.
someone else.
What time did you get home, Brooke? What time did you get home
I
yesterday?
don't know.
What were you wearing?
Well,
Did you
I
take off
just
your
had
shoes
on a
before or
bra and an
after?
axe.
A bra and axe. Sounds familiar. Yeah, sounds about right. I mean, that's the thing. We get into a lot of witness statements, which are always very hard to validate.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So supposedly, Reverend Kelly had sent a bloody shirt to the drugstore for cleaning the following week after the murders.
This
Okay.
guy.
But I
This
mean, you
guy.
could have like killed a chicken to eat. Like, I mean, this is 1912. I mean, who knows what you're doing?
But
Like,
then throw the shirt away and just get a new one, dude. You're a reverend. I'm sure someone from your flock would lend you a clean shirt. Don't
right,
take your bloody rags to a dry
right.
cleaner.
You think you might be more smart than that, but
Yeah.
okay. But this is also interesting. 2 weeks after the murder, after he returned to town, he posed as a detective from Scotland Yard and joined a tour of the murder house with a group of investigators.
What?
And we're talking about like returning to the scene of the crime here.
Which so many killers do.
He was obsessed with the case. He wrote letters to investigators and to the families of the victims.
Mindy, you better come up with someone else if you don't want me to think it's
Okay.
Reverend Kelly.
Okay, well, detectives were suspicious of him originally, but they failed to arrest him because of his slight build, because witnesses say it was might have been a larger person around town at the time, and he was only 5'2".
Wow, Mindy, he's even shorter than me.
Could you imagine? And 119 pounds.
I could put him in my pocket.
Detectives say he was physically incapable of committing these crimes, of wielding an axe and killing this family. They said he was a small guy, 5'2", 119 pounds. Like, which
Okay,
I'm like, is he 12?
They're I still think a 12-year-old can use an
Wield an
axe,
axe?
though, right?
Yeah, I know, right? Okay,
Hmm.
well, so he was originally off the suspect list just for his physical stature.
Okay.
But his background isn't great. It's honestly, like, it's honestly downright awful.
Oh, no.
He had been described as peculiar growing up, and he had a mental breakdown as a teen, which, looking back on these stories, it's like, yes, mental breakdown as a teen, like, you can take it as, yeah, he could commit murder, but also could be like, yeah, he's a depressed kid and there was no...
He's a teen. He's a teenager.
There's no way of, like, helping people at that time with mental illness. So, okay. He was also accused of peeping.
Ooh, a peeper.
And also asking young girls and women to pose nude for him.
Yeah, that's a creeper.
Yeah. 2 years after the murders, he was arrested for sending obscene material through the mail and harassing women who applied to be his secretary.
Gross.
Yeah.
That's just gross.
Eventually, he went to a mental hospital in Washington, D.C., and he was diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Okay.
He confessed to a series of arson crimes.
That's just a whole different direction. Like, it's just...
Yeah, but is it or is it not? Like, could it all be connected? Like, is it,
It could be connected, or is he just trying to, like, say, I'm throwing you guys off the scent for these murders. I just started some fires. Like, is that better in his head? Like,
so in 1917, and we're talking 5 years after these murders, this horrific family murder, police arrested him and obtained a confession.
Oh, no.
On August 31st at 7 a.m., Kelly signed in a confession to the murderers saying God had whispered to him, quote, "Suffer the children to come unto me," which he later recanted.
How long was he there? Was this like a forced confession? Like, was it really like...
I don't have those details, but it seems especially having it seems like some mental issues.
Yeah, you can really push on that easily. It only takes so much to break someone
Sure.
in general, but let alone if you're struggling with like brain health and everything like that. It's like,
Yeah.
you can really trigger someone quite easily.
So Reverend Kelly went on trial twice for these murders.
Twice? No double jeopardy?
I think this is before double jeopardy was a
Okay.
thing, which is
Okay.
interesting, right? He was acquitted both times.
Go ahead, Reverend Kelly, you creeper, but maybe you're innocent.
The first ended in a hung jury, 11-1, and the second ended in a
11-1?
Yes.
Wait.
I know.
Like,
11 towards conviction, 1 to not.
I was going to ask, like,
Yes.
Jesus, who could you imagine how pissed off everyone in that room was with that one person?
It's very interesting, right?
It is. And what was the second one? I'm sorry.
The second was ended in mistrial.
Mistrial.
That's all I got. Yeah, mistrial.
Wow.
Okay. But I will say he was still a piece of shit because after not being found guilty, he moved to New England with his wife, where he worked in a New Jersey chapter of the KKK.
Oh, good. Oh, he's making lots of good choices.
Is a fucking piece of shit.
Wow.
He gave the incantation. Was it incantation? What's
incantation?
The incantation. We're giving the incantation before cross burnings.
Oh, what a good reverend. What a good soul.
No, fuck you. Fuck you and everything that comes along with you.
Wow.
Yeah, he died in 1959.
Yay!
At 80 at a psychiatric hospital.
A long time too.
And he was buried with his wife. So his wife, for some reason, was by his side the whole time. But fuck, I don't care if you committed this murder or not. Fuck you.
Your other actions are
fuck you.
Big fuck yous. Yuck, Reverend Kelly. Yuck.
So I don't think this guy is like great.
He's not great, but maybe he didn't do. But why did he know? Why did he say it on the train?
Exactly.
It's about the witnesses, like you said. Why did he know about the bodies before they were found?
Yes. All right. Well, we're going to move on. By the way, no one else has been ever tried for the murders. He was the only man ever tried for these axe murders.
Okay.
Only one. But let's talk about a few more suspects.
Okay.
Next person we have to talk about is Frank Jones. He was Josiah's former employer. So Frank Jones was a resident of Villisca, and he was an Iowa state senator.
Ooh.
I mean, so like, think about the early 1900s. Like, that's Iowa itself is like a brand new state to the union. It was maybe 30 years old.
Baby.
It's a baby state. So he had a lot of pull. Frank Jones was a senator. Big guy in the town of Villisca.
Like big in stature?
Big in businessman. I'm the man type.
Not like the opposite of
we don't know.
Kelly.
I don't know about the size. I didn't find any information on that.
Okay.
But Josiah worked for Jones at his implement store, which again, to remind you what an implement store is a store that sells services of farm equipment and related products. It's like the modern day farm and fleet.
That's what it is.
That's right. Josiah took his business away from him when he opened his own store, including a very successful John Deere dealership.
Ooh, yes.
So think of the 1910s and farm equipment, like, because I know this is like things that are on your mind the whole time.
I mean, think about this often.
But Mindy. Your dad worked for John Deere, right?
He did for over 40 years.
Okay, so 40 years before your dad worked there, it's still a big thing.
I mean, I think it was more than 40 years before my dad worked there.
Wait, yes. What year do you think okay, so if your dad retired in when? 2000, whatever. What year did he retire in?
I would guess he retired around, let's see.
I don't think it's that much further than the 80 years before him, though.
Well, no. I mean, okay, so
I'm saying 40 years before your dad started his first job.
I mean, I would say he started in the 70s there.
Okay, your dad started in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, he started in
and
the
so 40
70s
years
there.
before that would have been the 30s.
30s.
Okay, so it was maybe 60 years before your dad joined John
Yeah.
Deere. Okay. So
we had to get that figured
we
out.
had to get there somewhere. So, Papa Althouse. Josiah had created this great business. I mean, he learned from his mentor, Frank. He learned a
and then
lot. He
stole it
decided,
all.
but but honestly, like any job you have, isn't it like you learn from the master and you try to do better? Like you
Yes.
try to make your own way. Of
Yeah.
course.
It's just hard in a small town like
Of
that. And when you
course, yeah.
choose to do it across the street.
Yeah, exactly. He exactly opened his business across the street. So, yeah.
That's not the best part of the story, but yeah.
And here's another thing that may throw a little fire into the mix is supposedly Josiah was rumored to have an affair with Jones's daughter-in-law. But honestly, there's no evidence of that. And from what I hear, I don't feel like the relationship with the Moore family, like he was cheating on his wife. I don't know. I don't get a vibe that he was a cheater. Just saying.
Yeah.
There's also no alibi for Frank Jones.
That's a toughie. But was he alone? Because if you're alone, you can't. It's just sorry.
Or if you're with your spouse, you can't.
Yeah. There's no way.
Okay, let's get to another theory here, which is the idea of the serial killer theory.
Oh, I like this one.
Okay, so supposedly in the early 1910s, there was a series of murders that seemed very similar across the country, and specifically across the Midwest.
Sure, so maybe the same train line?
Perhaps. So there was the Mammoth Axe Murders in 1911.
Okay.
On September 11th, 1911, William Dawson and his wife, Charity, and their 13-year-old daughter, Georgia, were bludgeoned to death with a heavy pipe in their beds while they slept. This crime had distinctive similarities to the Villisca scene.
Okay.
Next, we have the Paola, Kansas murders, which was an axe murder.
Oh, boy.
This is 1912. This is just 16 days before the Moore family murders. Rollin Hudson and his wife were found murdered in their beds, killed by an axe. Their faces were covered, much like the Villisca murders. The murder weapon was left at the scene, much like the Villisca murders. And the window shades were drawn and the doors locked, just like the Villisca murders. So this was 6 days before. So I'm like, can you get from Paola, Kansas?
Yeah, how quickly can you get
I think on a train you can.
But that's tight. That's tight for any serial killer. That's a tight time frame too.
I mean, like 6 days. Yeah. That's tough. Okay. In Colorado Springs in 1912, this would be 4 months after the Villisca murders. On September 17th, 1912, 4 members of the Burnham family were found murdered by an axe at their home on Dale Street. It turned out that Harry, his wife, Blanche, and their 18-month-old daughter, Lula, had been murdered in the same manner as the Moore family.
18 months old?
Baby. The last one of these, like, idea of a serial murder is the Axemen of New Orleans, which happened between 1918 and 1919. There was a series of brutal axe murders that occurred in New Orleans at the time, attributed to an unidentified assailant known as the Axeman. The killer targeted victims in their homes, often attacking them with an axe or other blunt objects. While the geographic distance is significant, the brutal nature of the attacks and the fact that they involved axe murderers could have led some to speculate there was a possible connection.
But there was also what year did you say?
The Villisca murders were in 1912.
So but this was 6 years after the New Orleans ones was 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long downtime for a serial killer.
Sure. But if some of these happened in between.
You look at Lizzie Borden too, used an axe. That's just a famous kind of weapon to use, not necessarily.
Well, here's why, because it's convenient.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, people had
Houses
them.
back then had them.
Yeah,
It's not
absolutely.
like houses these days have an axe leaning against a shed or a gun sitting under like the porch.
No, you might grab a kitchen knife or something.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. But the MO was the same in all these murders. There was the back edge of the axe that was used.
Mm-hmm.
The axe was left at the scene of the crime with the blood wiped off. All of these, the victims' heads and faces were covered.
Mm-hmm.
Sheets were hung on windows and mirrors. An oil lamp was left with a chimney off, like the little thing that
This
sits on
is
top of it.
for all of these?
All of these that I just mentioned.
Wow.
Nothing was stolen. The house was locked up. And at least one of the females was touched or posed in a sexual way.
Oh my God. Mindy!
So, could it be a serial killer, Brooke? I don't know.
Well, is it my turn to
Nope.
tell you what I... Oh.
Not yet. I got one more for you. One more.
Okay.
And this is the idea of Gladson William Blackie Mansfield.
That is a name if I ever heard one.
And he is the hitman of our story.
Oh.
So there's a detective named Detective James Newton Wilkerson of the Burns Detective Agency that believed it was William. Detective Wilkerson accused Frank Jones, if you remember, Frank Jones was the former boss,
former employee,
right?
Yeah. Or former employer,
Accused Frank Jones, former boss, and his son Albert of hiring a hitman.
Oh, so maybe not guilty of committing the crime himself.
This is an interesting angle.
Okay. Well, there's definitely motive there then.
Mm-hmm. He claimed that William Blackie Mansfield was a cocaine-addicted serial killer.
That's a big thing to say.
Right. So here's something that's interesting. In 1914, 2 years after the Villisca Axe Murders, William's wife, an infant child, father-in-law, and mother-in-law were all found murdered by axe in Blue Island, Illinois on April 4th, 1914. Okay, if you can see Brooke right now, she's spinning around in her office chair.
I can't.
Okay.
I can't. Shit, it's him. Or is it he's a serial killer too, though, right? Maybe.
Hitman, definitely. Perhaps
this is why I'd be a terrible juror.
Yes.
So I'd be like, guilty. Oh, wait, no, not guilty. Guilty.
So this man, 2 years after the Villisca House murders, murdered his wife, child, father-in-law, mother-in-law, all in Blue Island, which is, by the way, 16 minutes south of the Chicago Loop. Close to me.
That is too close for comfort.
He was arrested in 1916 and was accused of being a serial killer. Detective Wilkerson claimed he could prove Williams was at each of these towns the night of the murder. So remember we went through each of those serial murders? Colorado Springs, Paola, Villisca.
Yeah.
Detective Wilkerson said he can put him in each of these towns at the time.
Oh, he had the receipts.
According to Williams, he had an alibi that he was in Illinois at the time of the Villisca murders and at the same time as the Paola murders, saying that he had payroll records.
Okay.
And there was lack of evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Later,
New Orleans.
I'm just saying this too, but later he sued the investigator, Detective Wilkerson, for libel and won $2,225 for slandering his name.
Wow.
So this story is so all over the place. I don't even know. I don't even know.
Okay.
But supposedly, Frank Jones, the original employer of Josiah, the wealthiest, by the way, also a senator, most influential resident of town, pressured for Mansfield to be released and pushed for Reverend Kelly to be arrested.
What?
So what does that tell you right there?
It tells me that he hired this guy as his hitman and now he's protecting him.
Yes, and he's now trying to peg the crazy
Reverend. Tiny man.
The crazy tiny man, Reverend. Okay, well, I'm gonna give you one more suspect, and
Oh, if
as
I
if
had
this
a
is not
nickel,
enough, if this
if
is
I
not enough.
had a nickel.
So this is a newer suspect. This is Paul Mueller, and this came from a 2017 book called Man from the Train, and it's a book published
Oh,
by Bill James and his daughter, Rachel McCarthy James.
okay.
And I would recommend this book to anyone. I will put a link in the show notes. Um, so they say Mueller was a German immigrant that came to the U.S. in 1890.
Okay.
He was on the lam for an 1897 murder in West Brookfield, Massachusetts,
Okay.
when he was employed as a farmhand. They feel like they can tie him to 59 murders,
What? Okay.
including Colorado Springs and the Paola serial murders. So this is a whole other, I'm just throwing out here, a whole other suspect completely we haven't talked about yet. Supposedly, he had selected families that lived near railroad tracks. He would ride the rails. His primary motive is believed to have been a sadistic sexual attraction to prepubescent girls and the presence of okay, this it's really weird and gross. The presence of a slab of bacon at the Villisca scene, possibly used in a masturbation aid. Anyways, he knew the railways well. He worked as a fireman on the railroads, and he knew the scheduling of going into each of these towns. So that's the kind
That
of a newer one that came out in 2017 as
that
people.
is kind of brand spanking new, but at the same time, I feel like if that was his MO, why did it was I mean, there was one where it was an 18-month-old, not prepubescent,
Sure.
and then the ones that where there was only like one in each house. Like, why, if that was his thing, when there's a house of what, six girls, why is he only doing, I know it's terrible, but like, why is he only doing this to one of them?
Yes. But I think that's
Mm,
like an interesting newer, I would say, one
yeah,
that's come out from this that I'd like to
I would
read about
I would
more.
trust newer information just because technology and
You get the
crime
kind of the
scene.
idea, like, from a wider perspective
Well,
of the
yeah,
situation.
and things have improved so much technologically, like you can get more information nowadays.
And that's all the suspects I have. So, Brooke,
Oh,
at the end of that, let me ask you this because I'm going to put you on the spot 'cause that's what I do.
okay.
First, first blush. Who do you think?
I'm going for the serial killer, not the last guy, the unknown serial killer,
Talking
that
hitman guy or the one before that?
the one
Unknown,
before, the
unknown
unknown,
serial.
who was the Colorado Springs and the Kansas and the New Orleans suspect,
Okay.
like, because you can get around on the rails pretty
Yeah.
relatively easily, especially, you don't need, back then, it's not like
No, there's no idea. You don't have
there's
like your
no
passport.
ID or anything like that. So even though there was a long period in between what seemed like one spread of one series of murders and then the New Orleans, that happens a lot. It might be a long downtime, but serial killers do that shit.
Yeah, I think I appreciate your ideas on this, but I
Mindy's
think
like, I totally
I
disagree.
disagree. I don't. I think it's more local. I think it has to do with his boss. I think it has like a hired hitman. I'm more on that line.
That line, that railroad
That
line.
railroad line. I no, but I do think
The thing that gets
nonsensical
me,
murders happen for like no reason at all. I mean, that's the
yes,
hard thing for detectives, but I
I
don't know.
like, I don't like it, but I like the hitman idea. But the thing that gets me is all the commonalities you found in all the murders.
Mhm.
Like, if it was a hitman, why are these murders elsewhere having like
The same
the
MO.
same MO?
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
don't,
God damn it. I would just love for like, can we just not? track people. I've seen so like overly governmentally standing because I'm not a murderer, so I don't really care. So I don't care if the government tracks me, honestly, because like, what am
Like,
I'm
can't
just driving my
right,
kids to school. There's nothing
you're
exciting
like,
to
"I am
see.
a good person, so what do I have
But
to
can't
hide?"
we
Kind of.
like triangulate? Like, you were here at this time these days, and like you were a witness, or what? I don't know. I just
Well, you know
it's
what?
beyond that.
In a lot of parts of the world with, like, CCTV, I
Mhm.
find so fascinating because the US is so far behind on CCTV,
Mm.
like
Yeah,
the UK, other countries, Asian countries, there's cameras
the face recognition. Yeah.
everywhere, and they catch everything,
And
it's
that's the thing that
crazy.
drives me nuts these days. It's like, oh, you go into oh, those cameras are just there for show. They don't really
Right,
work.
you're
And it's
like,
like, come on, why?
no, but I feel like in the US, we're really far behind because we might have one on the corner or at this store, but like you said, "Oh, it's just a deterrent or something,"
But
but,
if you
like,
have nothing to hide, why do
they
you care?
legit have CCTV cameras everywhere in places around the world, and it
Yeah,
catches.
public places, public
Yep,
information.
yep.
I don't know, but that was not how it was in 1910. So we'll
No, it
never
wasn't.
know. That's the hard thing. But to
Hey,
go
maybe
back,
it'll be like the Golden State Killer, like, maybe someday we'll have an
DNA,
answer.
maybe
Maybe,
familial
but
DNA.
and also the blood was wiped off the axe at all of those locations,
Why was there bacon?
and why was there bacon?
That's what I mean, I love bacon, don't get me wrong, but I'm not gonna murder someone and then leave raw
And
bacon.
maybe masturbate with
So I don't know. It's so weird.
Oh.
There is a lot. Bestie, I don't know. Tell us what you think. Join the chat on our Facebook group. But
Yes.
just to finish up, again, the, the Villisca Axe Murder House is available for tours and overnight stays. Um,
Mhm.
Shows like the Ghost Adventures and Scariest Places on Earth, podcasts like Lore and My Favorite Murder have all covered this
Oh,
story.
yeah.
So since the murders at the Moore House, there have been 7 owners. In 1994, it was bought by Darwin Lynn and his wife Martha,
Okay.
where they returned it to its original state. There is no electricity and no plumbing in this home, just like
Oh.
there was in 1910.
Oh, I changed my mind about wanting to spend the night there, Mindy.
Sorry,
Not because it's
Brookie.
haunted, but because it has
If
no
you want to
electricity
spend the
or
night
running
there,
water.
you can. There is no electricity and no plumbing. It is open
Mm,
for tours and ghost hunting, and it had been added to the National Register of Historic Places,
that's
which I find
interesting.
interesting
Wait, what?
because normally it's
Like
very
where
prominent
great things happen, right?
families, not
Like
murders
where good
happen.
things happened,
Yeah,
like the birth of a president or
sure.
something, not
Where
the
the
murder of an
Declaration of
entire
Independence
family.
was signed. But not a murder. So, anyways, eventually the U.S. Ghost Adventures LLC bought it in January of 2024. So, just recently.
That's interesting because do you know Zach Baggins had also bought was it the Indianapolis murder house?
Yes.
Yeah, so
He's
he's into
buying.
it, man.
Yes,
He's
I
buying those
get it. He's
properties.
capitalizing on murder.
Mhm.
Visitors overall experience unexplained phenomena, including feelings of dread, sadness, or rage.
Oh God.
Strange fog witness moving from room to room. Orbs and photos, of course, and children's laughter. Walking in the attic, you can hear heavy footsteps, EVPs from
Mhm.
young children, and supposedly Ina and Lena have been told to tell people to leave and get out.
Oh, how do they know it's them?
I don't
Okay.
know. Maybe in the room that they were found in,
Oh,
perhaps.
okay. Yeah.
In 2014, there was one paranormal enthusiast who entered the house with a hunting knife, despite the warning not to take such weapons into the home.
What?
After attempting to provoke the spirits into a response, he reportedly saw a flash of light and then woke up in a hospital. And he suffered from self-inflicted wounds from his own knife that he didn't remember.
Whoa.
He returned later to the housekeeper to apologize for his behavior.
Sorry, ma'am.
You told me not to bring my own knife here, but I did, and I cut myself. I mean, it's awful. I mean, it's not a great story. So
It's not the best. Wow. Wow.
According to one paranormal investigator, the house seems to be a mirror. If you're a bad person, you have a bad experience. A good person has good experiences.
Oh, give me a break. That's true with, like, you could say that about lots
What
of
do you
stuff.
think?
That's
What do you
just
think our experience would be there, Brooke?
not good.
Not good. I would think they would be good. We're good people.
No, we are good people, but I know we'd freak each other out. We
Yeah.
would totally freak each other out.
Well, if you want to spend the night at the Villisca Axe Murder House, it's available on Airbnb through their
I still
website.
want to.
An overnight stay for the whole house is $5.99 a night, and individual rooms go for $1.99 a night.
So you could possibly be staying there with like because what are there, 3 bedrooms?
Yeah. 3 other people. And if you want to just do a tour for 45 minutes, it's $20, and there's gift certificates available. So if you want to send your besties to the Villisca Axe Murder House,
Oh my
we will accept gift cards.
Yes, and Christmas isn't too far away. What better Christmas gift than a gift certificate to the Axe Murder House?
I don't know. It's one of those things that you feel like I would love to experience it, but in a respectful way. Like,
yeah. That's a tough one.
That's tough. That's a tough story. And folks, that is the story of the Villisca Axe Murder House.
Mindy, brava. You did such a great job with that one. Thank you for doing our 2-parter. It was excellent.
I mean, there was a lot of suspects to get through, so there's no way I'd do that in one episode.
No, and I'm still not certain of how I feel.
I don't know. I think it's tied to like the employer, just because I believe in motive.
Yeah, but
I'd rather believe in motive than some random
because that's
train
scarier.
hopping crazy.
That's scarier.
Lunatic.
That's why, because it could happen anywhere to anyone then,
Exactly.
So, Mindy, I came across a very interesting newspaper article today.
Is this
via my brother? Yes, he
our
found
bestie
this.
Brett. Yes,
our bestie Brett. It's from the Gazette in Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
A newspaper.
It's a newspaper, and it is the 10 Iowa-produced podcasts to listen to. And guess who's on the list, Mindy? Just a guess.
I'm us.
Yes, it is us. And guess
How
what?
cool
We
is
are
that?
first on the list.
That's crazy.
It's got a picture of us from our podcast awards from our live show, which is exciting. It was our live show.
We're wearing our jammies in that photo. I look a little haggard, but all good.
Jammies.
So I got like 3 hours of sleep the night before.
Oh,
I look fabulous.
We both look okay. But I mean, it has our picture. It gives the description of the podcast, and it says that we won, Best Comedy Podcast at the Iowa Podcast Awards.
It was really cool. It was really cool for you to send that to me, because I was like, and I did share it.
I had no idea.
Yes. I did share it on
my
Facebook group, and I said, Mom and Dad, I'm not in the police blotter, but I'm on.
Thank God.
I'm in a newspaper with my photo. And I felt
how cool is that?
Legit. Like, I just want to share that with our besties, because I feel like it's momentum. It's exciting.
It is. And I had no idea it was coming. I opened it like on my lunch break thinking, because Brett always sends me like cat videos, and I'm like, oh, what's this one going to be? And I'm like, holy shit. Like,
you're in a newspaper.
I'm so glad I was like in my car, because I was like, holy shit. I said it out loud. I'm like, I'm glad I wasn't in a school.
Yes. No, that's probably better for the kids.
No, it was so exciting. Totally unexpected. Just like everything that's been going on recently. Very humbling. And wow.
We got noticed in the newspaper. Like, what? I said to you, I'm like, New York Times is going to pick this up next, or People, or
pretty soon.
Whatever.
And then my friend said People magazine, so.
Yeah, Sydney said that.
We're ready.
So we're ready.
We're ready.
That's why we say
we'll
share with a
pencil you
friend. We're in. That's really cool to ride that wave. But this week, like when I came in, I feel like a lot better now that I have been chatting with you. I feel less stressed. I feel
good.
I feel a little
I
better.
can feel a lightness in you from when
I
you
do.
first joined.
Thank you. It's been a crazy week. My sister got married.
Yay, Kelly! Congrats to
Kelly
you
and
and
Austin. Yeah.
It was a good time.
Brooke was invited as a guest.
It was a beautiful, beautiful night. Lots of dancing.
So yeah, Kelly and Austin, they did a private ceremony. So just very intimately for friends and very close people. So there was probably only like 30 people at the ceremony. And then from there, invited guests, which later I got to see my bestie, Brooke.
That's me.
But no, it was one of those things like I wanted the day to be perfect for my sister, of course. Because
you were maid of honor too, or matron of honor.
I was matron of honor. I've been in the wedding industry, so I was like, I was in charge with making the backdrop and everything and
Let's
timeline.
Just say everything.
And yeah, I was like the wedding planner, but it was exhausting, but I would do it every single day in time for my sister. Like, I love her so much. I would do it again and again, but I am exhausted.
You're exhausted.
I'm exhausted.
Hopefully you can catch up on some sleep sometime.
I don't know.
I don't know when or how that's possible for you and your life and your schedule, but hopefully you can.
But even the backdrop. So like the morning, so she wanted to do, so I have photography equipment, so I could do an easy backdrop. We ordered some drapes, like drapery online. So I had my backdrop stands. We ordered like ivory drapes. And then she sent me some inspiration for what she wanted her backdrop to look like. So I went to Michael's, I went to Hobby Lobby. I was looking for kind of some garland.
Greenery. Yeah.
But like 6 feet was like costing me $20. So I'm like, that's not what I'm going to do. And so I texted, well, not even like it's my money, but I know that's not what she's going to do.
I know, right?
So I texted my sister. I said, what if I like just cut down my willow tree? And so
not the whole tree, Mindy, just some of the willows.
I just gave my willow tree a haircut. I have a curly willow. And so the morning I left for the rehearsal day, I was out in my lawn at 6 a.m. with a 10-foot tall ladder. I wish someone took a picture. A 10-foot tall ladder, a hedge trimmer, like a chopper, like not even, it's manual. It's not like.
If you are not the best matron of honor, I don't know who is, honestly.
I'm chopping down branches, rubber banding them up, putting in 5-gallon buckets to keep them alive for the next 72 hours, driving them back to Iowa. And I will say, I looked at my piece of art and I'm like, I did a pretty fucking good job.
You did a very fucking good job.
It was beautiful. And yeah.
I remember when I went in, I was like, Mindy, is this your tree? Because you had told me, and you're like, yeah. I'm like, because you were doing a test to see if it would work, right?
I did. I had to do a test ahead of time to make sure that the branches would stay alive.
Wouldn't die, yeah.
She sent me an inspo pic, and I just really wanted to do that for my sister and what it looked like and what her thoughts were. And I did it for her, and it was a lot.
I love that story. It was so worth it. She was so happy. We had a great time.
We danced. We had a couple of our besties join us. Okay, so besties by meaning my nieces.
Yes.
Alexis and Sydney were at the wedding, and they wanted to get a picture of us with the podcast award, which you brought. So we did like
because we have joint custody now.
We have joint custody of the baby, so we did a little meet and greet with them, which they loved. But
that was so funny.
It was a fun time.
Yeah,
then dancing was just the best.
Blast.
Dancing was the best. Outdoors.
It was so much fun. Yeah, it was it was a little chilly, so it was like it felt good to just dance, you know. Yeah, it was great. Perfect for them. Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations, Kelly and Austin. Yay. I'll put some pictures on our Facebook group, of course. But yeah, it was a good time. I'm glad I got to hang out with you.
Yeah, it was fun in person, right?
It was fun. We were in person. Yes.
Oh, dear me, Mindy. Okay.
Well, let's wrap it up. This episode needs to come to a conclusion, which means...
Mindy's like, it's got to end.
It's got to end.
Well, okay, bestie. Grab your Rubik's Cube.
Just don't be a prick. about
Just
it.
don't be a prick.
Don't be a baby prick. Pirate prick.
And until next week, sweet dreams, bitches. Baby little pirate prick.
But, well, you know, sometimes they are, and they just gotta like live through society. You can't really blame them for that. Like, what do they have in their Rubik's Cube? It's gotta be better than colors.
Jewels.
Jewels.
Jewels.